All right, 2004 Dodge Neon 604 Trans or 41 TE. This car belongs to Mr. Gregg, and we're going to be opening this up and going to see what we find. This had a code of P1790, which is fault immediately after a shift, usually points to an internal problem. All right, also when you hook the scanner up and you go to transmission data, you go under what's called C.V.I. data, clutch volume index, and that actually shows internal wear of the trans through a number. And what that is, from the time that the computer starts to apply the clutches to a time, to they're fully applied. And again, it's represented by a number. So, for instance, the overdrive range, the allowable range, C.V.I. range for the overdrive clutch is 75 to 125. This was about 180. So we should find this clutch, something wrong in that overdrive clutch. Also, when we would continue to check the car, we noticed it was slipping real bad in reverse. So we're going to open it up and we're going to see what we find. All right, on the outside here you have your electronic solenoid pack, which is going to be changed to a brand new OE. This sticking up here is the range switch. That's also going to be changed, and these as well. This is your input and output speed sensors. Okay, so we're going to start taking this thing apart. I'm going to get a little closer with the camera, and we'll see what we find. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, so we'll start taking these sensors out. Okay, this one is your input and this is your output. All right, next we're going to take off the solenoid pack. This. Alright, so this pack is going to be changed with a brand new one. Alright, so we'll put this aside. Alright, so let's see if we can get this pump out here. I need my slide hammer. Usually got Loctite on these pump bolts here. There's the pump bearing, the pump gasket. And we're going to open all this up after it's chunked down. Okay. Here is the main drum here. Okay, this is a bypass valve that I always replace. Could give you converter codes. Let's see if we can get this plunger out here. Okay. Couple of bearings here. Alright, so when we go in and double check this planet, make sure that the splines are good. Anything in question to change. Now I'm going to take this back cover off. All right, next we're going to take the final drive out. So we'll get this cover off here. Right now we're going to get our two ends out here that house the bearings, the bearing races. race in there, seal here, which will be changed. Let me just turn my light back on here. Right now, this back cone here. Okay, again, bearing race seal. Now, differential out. Okay. Next, we're going to flip it up, take the pan down, take the valve body off. Alright, I need a pair of pliers. Okay, so the valve body to come out easily, got to put the linkage in low. Alright, so we're going to flip this thing up. Get rid of some of the oil. Right, next is the pan. The pan looks fairly clean, but I think the pan has been down. Filter. Right now we're going to lift this valve body out. valve body. Here is the range switch. Okay, now we have our accumulators here. This one has a double spring in it. Oil. All right, now I'm going to get the snap ring out that houses the second clutch, the housing for the 2.4 piston. Alright, so we got all the pistons on this. There's the no return spring. Okay. Okay, so this is our intermediate 2.4. I like to change the 2.4 steels on every overhaul, just makes it work a little better. Gives it a little better shift. Okay, let's get this. See if we can get this snap ring out here. Now the pressure plate. Okay, there's that. And again, this has to be a max set. Now we got to get another snap ring out. All right, that's the low reverse clutch there. There's a few more of those, but let's got to get that snap ring out. Got to find the end. Okay. So the barrel of the case, well, it's the perception of the planet, but that's going to come out this way. I'm going to flip this thing out. All right, now I'm going to get this lock apart here. You know what? Just give me 2 minutes. I just want to get rid of some of this oil and make sure that the camera is positioned okay. Okay. Right, here's the lock mechanism to keep the bolt from coming loose. Alrighty. Now we're going to get this big back nut out here. So that should be probably about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to use my other gun. And just point this downwards a little bit. Alright, there's that. Basket. Transfer gear, here is a shim. Spacer, I should say. Between that and the rear planet. Okay. Alright. And now we have our accumulator here. Let's get pliers for that. Alright, this is the neutral drive accumulator here. That is that. Okay. All right, now I got to get my, actually let me get my puller set up. We're going to pull this gear off here. Then I'm going to pull the parking mechanism out and parking pole out. And then we're going to pull the flow reverse piston out, which is molded as well. So let me just get it set up for this, and I will be right back. All right, so let's take this top off here. All right, now I'm going to pull that gear off. Just turn my lights back on. Okay. dokey. Here's another shim for that, and erase. This comes right out. Alright, so now we can take the park assembly out. Okay, got this pin, and then we gotta knock this one out. Let's see if this will work. Right, a little plug, that gets changed also. And here is the piece here. Here's that snap ring, the Belleville return, and let's get this piston out. Okay, that's going to be changed. And one more piece, the apply plate for the piston. There's some tiny, tiny bolts down there. The apply plate, there's a gasket here which will be changed as well. So the only thing we got left now is the pinion. Let me just go get my tool for that. Alright, so these are my pliers that I use. Let's see if we can get this thing out. I use this to lift the other side up. A little bit of a pain, but it'll come out. Well, I got it. I think it's slipping out, but I got the end up. Okay, all right, well, took a little bit, but I got it. Here's that, okay. All right, so the case is completely stripped. Now what we're gonna do is open up the pump. Pretty much just the pump and drum. And that should really be about it. We'll see what else we got. All right, so let me just get set up for that because we're gonna be working over in this area here. All right, so let's open up the drum here. Top here is reverse. And hit the pressure plate down to get the snap ring out. Okay, and we'll get the snap ring. The pressure plate out. Okay, well, that's one of the reasons why we're slipping in reverse. There's absolutely nothing left of this clutch. Completely shot. Flake down to nothing. Wow. Okay. Alright, first we have a 4-tab washer here, and that goes right here on the back. Okay, now we'll do the overdrive. Okay. So, a series of snap rings in this here. Okay, so these clutches are completely shot. Alright, now we have overdrive. These things are all burned up. I'm going to do clutches and steels. Look at that, it's totally black on both sides. And even the steels, actually the steels are actually warped. The steel is actually warped, if you can see that. So these steels are going to be changed as well. Okay, here is the hub for the underdrive clutch. This is the hub for the overdrive clutch. Now inside this hub, all right, first let's get the washers out. Okay. We got one here, 3 tabs. Okay, one that sits on top. And we got a 5 tab, sits on here like that. Okay, when you put these two hubs together, okay, there is some movement here, back and forth. So there's bushings in here. Sonics puts out a special bushing, 1-piece bushing, and it fits nice fit, and you get no play at all, and it actually prolongs the life of the overdrive clutch. All right, we got a bearing here. All right, so now let's take a look at the underdrive. First, we got another snap ring. Let's take the snap ring out. And we got 2 like thin snap rings. One is, this should be a wavy one. Okay, this is wavy, and this goes on the bottom of this pressure plate, and then the straight one goes on top. All right. Let's see if we can find the end. Okay, it's right here. We'll work this thing around. Okay. Okay, and just like in the case, that pressure plate where I said the snap ring has to match the plate, same thing with this. These have to be a match set, because when you put this back together, you have a snap ring on the bottom. Let's take that out. I can't stress that enough when you're rebuilding these. You know, if the snap ring is broken, you really can't just find something and put it in. It has to be correct. There cannot be any play at all in that pressure plate, or it's going to throw your clearances off. Transmission is never going to work right. All right, so we have this plate, we have this, and we have this. When this setup is in, this plate cannot move up and down. Absolutely zero. All right, and these clutches again, they're all coming apart here. So, but every clutch in this unit is going to be changed. Most of the steels are going to be changed. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take the input shaft out. There's a little wire clip that holds that in. Okay, here's a little wire clip here. And let's take the input shaft out. Let's move my other light. Is that here? Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this drum over to the foot press and we're going to disassemble this drum. All right, I'm just going to take the snap ring out and I'll go over that with you as well. So give me a couple minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll pull this drum apart. I use the snap ring pliers with about a 45-degree angle. Actually, I'm going to need another pair because there is another snap ring down there. Let me get those ready. Okay, so we have the first snap ring. Then we have here a balance piston. This thing is hard as a rock. This is rubber, so that's going to be changed. Again, it's would be changed anyway. Return spring. You got the apply plate. Okay, this feels pretty good here. Make sure this is all nice and smooth. It is. All right, now we have another snap ring, and I want to show you something on this snap ring. Okay. All right, this snap ring on one side is flat, and another side, again, I talk about this a lot because it's sometimes easily done, you know, easily put in backwards. And there's a little recess here on this side only, not on this side. So if you put this snap ring in like this, and it seems like it might be in, as soon as you select drive or reverse, that sucker's going to pop right out, and the car's not going to move. So you want to be very careful. A little chamfer, and that's got to go. That's got to go. All right, so now let's take this apart. Here's the housing here, and this is what the input sensor reads. And there's a bunch of O-rings in here, seals we're going to change. And this is what the output sensor reads. All right, these here, we got two pistons, and there's a little orifice in this piston right here that when this drum is clean, I hold this up to the light, or to the sunlight, or to the lights here, and you got to make sure you see a little pinhole through that. All right, if you don't see a little pinhole through that, you got to maybe put some oil or WD-40, whatever, and spray it out. And if you still don't see anything, then I would probably change that. That's like a bleed orifice there, and you got to see that little hole, a little pinhole. All right, now we're going to open the pump. Okay, let's see. Where's my socket? pump. This pump stator looks good. These rings here are going to be changed. This is the gerotor style. This is the later pump. Alright, these gears look good. Very nice fit. Okay, the pocket here looks very nice. You got a bushing here, it's going to be changed. Front seal, pump over. Okay, that we're going to change here. Alright, so what else do we got here? So here is like the 2/4 clutch piston. Okay, these will always get changed. It's a molded piston. They always get changed. Low reverse piston here is going to be changed. Valve body. Alright, this is your 1-2 accumulator. Alright, you got a seal here for the 2/4 clutch. That's going to be changed. And then also what I do when I take this down, you flat sand it, as I always do. And there is the solenoid switch valve that I take out with the plugs, take that completely out, and make sure that bore is good. Make sure you don't get that 1776 code. Alright, so that's it for the teardown. Now I'm getting some of these parts in. So I'm just going to like to give you a shot of the parts that I have. Just want to run and get them. They're inside, so just give me a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is, to start with, here is, let me back out a little bit. All right, here is my overhaul kit. This is by a company Trans Tech. That's pretty much like an OE manufacturer. Very, very good stuff. You got a new applied plate here that comes in the kit. Alright, here's all the pistons that are new. Going to be putting those in. These are all the clutches and for the neutral drive accumulator. All new clutches going in. A couple other things. I got some steels. I got the pump bushing. Right here is the range switch going in. This is original OE. That's all I use. All right, for the valve body. It's going to be brand new. I'm still waiting on some stuff, but you know, it's coming in you know, a little bit at a time. And also the bypass valve that's behind the pump. This also is in a Mopar bag. This is OE as well. I always like to change it. There's a ball and spring in here. And you know, when the clutches flake off like we found, that clutch material can get in here and make that ball stick open or stick closed, and you know, give you like 741 codes, and you know, it's just easy enough just to put another one in. You can clean it, but I just prefer to change them because I've had issues with them in the past. Alright, so I guess that's about it for this 2004 Dodge Neon belonging to a Mr. Gregg. And I'm gonna, my tank is heating up. I'm gonna continue tearing this down, taking all the O-rings and stuff off because all that stuff's gonna be changed, knocking seals out, knocking bushings out, and gonna get this thing done up for him, get it back in the car. Alright, so I guess that's about it for this. I thank you guys for watching and have a great day. We'll see you next one. All right, I just noticed this return spring that's held in the drum with a snap ring is busted up in 2 spots. We got one here, one here. So I just want to show you that as well.